Good afternoon and welcome to this training video where we are going to show you how to maintain the address setup module in Dynamics 365 using GeoPostcodes data. A quick introduction about who is GeoPostcodes. So GeoPostcodes produces and maintains the most accurate global database of location data. And that database includes, of course, postcodes, but also streets, cities, regions, states, provinces, airports, geo-coordinates, anything that is relevant for location data across the world. Who am I? I am Pedro Trujillo and I lead the customer success team in GeoPostcodes. Basically, we support our teams and our customers to achieve the business objectives they have when they work with GeoPostcodes. So, what are we going to discuss today? After this quick introduction, we are going to provide an overview about how the address setup module works in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, and it will include an overview of the module and how and why it is useful. The second part, we are going to show you how to maintain this module and all the master data required using GeoPostcode ready datasets for Dynamics 365. If you go to Dynamics 365 and you go to the search bar, you will find the address setup module. And this is a module that maintains all the location master data for the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations environment. In this module, you maintain different address formats that could be relevant to different countries in the world. And you basically instruct Dynamics whether you are capturing postal codes in the address or cities or states for every country. We also need to maintain all the countries where we operate, and we need to link every country to one of the address formats we have previously maintained on the previous table. You also maintain states or provinces. For example, in the United States, there are states, but in countries like my own country in Spain, you have provinces. So you maintain those in the state province table, and of course you need to link them to the respective country. We are going to take, for example, Spain, so you can see another case, and you can see there are all the provinces. You also have county, which county can mean county if you talk about the United States, but can also mean a sub-level below region or state or province in a given country. So what we are talking here is about countries where when you write an address, providing a region or a province is not enough, and you actually need to also include more additional details. Could be a county, could be a comarca, could be some other administrative divisions in the country. And then of course we have the city table, where this one is the easier to understand. This table contains the cities across the different countries in the world, and when you maintain them, you need to link every city to country, region, and also the states or the counties you have previously maintained. District, we're not going to talk it because it's mostly about Russia. But we will talk now street, same thing, is also about Russia, also group of houses. The last table that is relevant for most countries in the world is actually FIP postal code. This table is important in multiple dimensions. I'm going to use, for example, the country of Mexico, that I think is going to be quite interesting. So if we look into this table, this table connects the postal code with the city that we have maintained in the previous tables, with the states, and very important, also give you the option to maintain districts. Districts are like suburbs, which are kind of subdivisions of a city. Most of the countries don't use those when you write an address, but for example, Mexico does. So when you maintain the data for Mexico, you need to maintain the city, state, you also maintain the county, but also you need to maintain the district because when you write a Mexico address, you need to include the asentamientos, and the asentamientos are a level below city level. Okay, so now you know all the pieces of location master data you need to maintain in Dynamics for the address setup module to work. And you may ask yourself, so why should I do this? What is the purpose of this module? Let me show you. So let's assume we are going to work with a new lead, for example, in the finance and operations environment. We have here a lead. Imagine you want to add an address, and we are looking, let's choose a country, for example, I don't know, let's take Spain, which is my own country. And if I write a postal code, let's say, for example, 18010, the system is gonna first tell me that actually we have it in the master data, and when you use it, you actually can autocomplete certain fields. In this case, when writing the postal code, you validate the city and the state. So very important, you need to maintain this master data to enable Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations to perform address autocomplete. As you can see in these cases, you include the postal code and different fields are auto-completed, and also validation. So validation is a subsetting that will allow you to actually ensure that only data that is valid can be stored in the system. For example, I try to include a new 0, and the system is saying, well, you cannot write this postcode because it doesn't exist in Spain, and that means that basically it doesn't exist in the master data, and this ensures that when you and your colleagues in the company create new addresses, they are all captured correctly, which can be very important for different purposes, for compliance if you are doing export or import, or for or just to know where your employees, customers, suppliers actually are. Okay, so this is very important that you need to know. So now you may ask, we are gonna go back to the address module now that we know why it is useful to maintain it. You may ask yourself, this seems like a lot of work, actually maintaining all those different tables for every country in the world, especially if your company operates in every country in the world. So the different options to maintain those tables are the following. The first one, very obvious one, you can maintain this data manually. You can create new rows in every table here in the UX, and then you can maintain the data one by one. This is not very friendly, can be useful if you want to update one record, but it's not the most friendly process. Dynamics gives you the option also to use a Microsoft Excel add-in. That is better than the one by one, but still you could have the challenge of if you want to import a significant amount of data, like for example, United Kingdom has 2 million postcodes. So 2 million postcodes are already gonna create problems for Excel because a single Excel tab can only store around 1 million rows. So whenever the amount of data is significant, the Excel add-in is not gonna make it. The most efficient way is to use the import process of Dynamics, which is that data management module. Okay. So in data management, you can set up import and export projects, and in this case will be about import to actually must upload all the information you need to maintain those data sets. So what we're going to show you now is how the GeoPostcodes files are already designed to work with this import module to integrate countries very efficiently. So let's assume you are a GeoPostcode customer. You will go, and we're going to start from the customer portal page. So you will have access to the GeoPostcodes customer portal. You will go to the download center. There you see an overview of the different products you are contracting at the moment. And you will choose, for Dynamics, you will use the postal database. In this case, we are going to play with Spain. And you can choose whether you want to use geo coordinates or not. In this case, we don't, because we're going to just maintain the addresses. And as you can see in the file format, one of them is the Dynamics 365 file format. This is a format in Dynamics 365 package that you can use to import it directly into the environment. So you will select this format, you will download it, and how the process will work later is that you will go to data management, you will click on import. Let's say we're gonna re-import Spain. You will add the file, and you are gonna select source data format package, because we have already the file in a format that is ready for Dynamics. You will upload and add the package. A package of Dynamics, it's a combination of tables, but also XML files that help to tell Dynamics how those files should be imported, in what order, and what other characteristics you should have. As you can see, we are uploading it, and you see that directly when you import the package, you get all the tables. in the right order, because this is very important. You need to import the tables in the right order. So when you click import, basically the data, in this case Spain, but you could also do the same for multiple countries or the world, can get directly ingested by Dynamics. And Dynamics will look into updating rows if the row is already existing in your master data, or creating new rows if the data was not there. The deletion process is a bit special, so we will cover that on a different training. Well, so now to our agenda to summarize what we have learned today. So you have learned how the address setup module works in Dynamics 365 and why it's important to maintain it. For example, to work and ensure you capture correctly the addresses moving forward. The second part is there are different ways to maintain the address setup module in Dynamics 365, from the fully manual part to more automated ones. We presented to you in this video how the GeoPostcode ready datasets can simplify your operation and ensure you update the data efficiently and in one go. Thanks a lot for watching this video. Have a good day.